On my last video, we talked about the thyroid gland. We talked about conversion of T4 to T3 and how that happens in the liver and the colon. I want to talk today about thyroid lab testing because I've got a lot of questions since that last video. Real quick review. TSH is secreted from the pituitary to the thyroid gland. Secretes T4 and T3, mostly T4, converted from the liver. Converted in the liver, T4 to T3, 60% of it. So 60% in the liver, 20% is converted in the colon. This is dependent if we have the right nutrients. This is dependent on if we have the right gut bacteria. Probiotics, prebiotics, a good supply of gut bacteria. If not, you lose 20% of thyroid hormone right there. And that right there can drive up TSH. So you can see my previous video, Shop Nutrition and Chiropractic, on Facebook. It's also on shopnutritionclinic.com. So let's talk about thyroid testing. The first test, and if you've had your thyroid tested, TSH, you're familiar with that. We already know what it is. Pituitary secretes it to the thyroid to tell it to release T4, T3. The other one you know, T4, T3, right here. T4 is going to convert to T3. The next one we want to talk about, I haven't talked about that, free T4. That's how much T4 is free, okay? So there's T4, this how much is free. FTI is how much T4 is available. We've got FT3, that's how much T3 is available. And we have T3 uptake, that's how much T3 can bind to protein sites, can bind to protein. We've got TPO and TGB. Now those there are signs of Hashimoto's disease. So Hashimoto's is a thyroid disease, autoimmune disease, where the body's actually attacking the thyroid, and that's what causes these two to go up. We also have RT3, which you'll see increased in times of stress, when people go through stressful situations. So that can be a number of things, of course. Now, TPO and TGB, that's Hashimoto's disease, like I said. So I've seen TSH normal when TPO was 1,000 plus. The reason is TSH can be normal when TPO can be really high, when there's Hashimoto's disease. So that's one thing we have to check. I've seen patients 5, 10 years. Oh, your thyroid's fine. And they say, well, I have thyroid symptoms. I read everything. It seems like I have thyroid symptoms. They test my TSH. They test my free T3, and everything's normal. So you've got to have the whole panel to see what's going on in the thyroid. TSH, there's 6 hypothyroid patterns. There's 24 total thyroid patterns that we look at. That's why you need all this information to see what's going on. So TSH, there's 6 hypothyroid patterns. Out of that, 4 TSH can be normal. So if all we're measuring is TSH, we can miss the whole picture. Free T3 here, out of those 6, 2 can be normal. 2 can be normal or slightly elevated. So what I usually see is a lab result with that and that. 4 out of 6 times, they can be, we can have a normal reading, yet we can have a thyroid problem. Again, that's why we need all this. So that's the panel to run. I negotiate my own prices with labs, so I get these panels done really reasonable compared to what we used to have to pay. So we get them done really reasonable now. So that's good. So that's how thyroid lab testing is done properly, the entire panel. Any more questions about that, you can call my office. I'll be certainly happy to speak to you. 314-843-9355. Until next time, reclaim your health, reclaim your life.